Did you know that cancer accounted for 10 million deaths in 2020? That's more than the population of Sweden. Cancer is one of the leading causes of death in the world. It is a disease that occurs when cells in the body grow out of control and form abnormal masses called tumors. Some tumors are benign, which means they do not spread to other parts of the body. Others are malignant, which means they can invade nearby tissues and organs or travel through the blood or lymphatic system to distant areas. This process is called metastasis, and it is what makes cancer so dangerous. What you may not know here is that according to research, some foods you may be eating every day contain harmful substances that can damage your DNA and cause tumors to grow. In this video, we will reveal 12 foods that can cause cancer if you don't stop eating them, and how you can avoid them or replace them with healthier alternatives. So, without further ado, let's get started. Number 1. Canned foods. Canned foods may seem like a quick and easy solution for busy days, but they can actually increase your risk of cancer. According to a study published in the BMJ, every 10% increase in consumption of ultra-processed foods, including canned foods, was associated with a 12% higher risk for cancer in general and an 11% increased risk for breast cancer. So, how can this be? Well, one possible reason is that canned foods are often lined with a chemical called bisphenol A, which can leach into the food and disrupt your hormones. BPA has been linked to birth defects, breast cancer, prostate cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. Another reason is that canned foods are usually high in fat, salt, and sugar, which can contribute to obesity, inflammation, and oxidative stress. These factors can also damage your DNA and promote cancer growth, so try to look for cans that are labeled as BPA-free. You can also rinse canned foods before eating them to wash away some of the BPA and salt. Number 2. Processed meats. Processed meats are any type of meat that has been preserved by smoking, salting, curing, or canning. This includes hot dogs, salami, sausage, ham, corned beef, beef jerky, and bacon. So, why are they bad? Well, the methods used to make processed meats can create carcinogens, which are harmful substances that can cause cancer. For example, curing meat with nitrate can form carcinogens called N-nitroso compounds. Smoking meat can also lead to carcinogenic polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. So, how much is too much? Well, the World Health Organization classifies processed meat as a Group 1 carcinogen, meaning that there is convincing evidence that it actually causes cancer in humans. So, there is no safe level of consumption. In fact, they estimated that every 50 grams portion of processed meat eaten daily increases the risk of colorectal cancer by 18%. That's about the size of one hot dog or 2 slices of bacon. Number 3. Farm fish. Farm fish are fish that are raised in controlled environments, such as ponds or tanks. They are often fed with artificial feed and antibiotics to promote their growth and prevent diseases. So, why are they bad? Well, farm fish may contain higher levels of contaminants than wild fish. These contaminants include pesticides, antibiotics, hormones, and heavy metals. Some of these substances may disrupt the hormonal balance and increase the risk of cancers of the breast, prostate, and thyroid. There is no clear guideline on how much farm fish is safe to eat. However, some experts suggest choosing wild fish over farm fish whenever possible. So try to eat more wild-caught fish that are low in mercury and high in omega-3 fatty acids. These include salmon, sardines, mackerel, herring, and trout. Number 4. Fruits and vegetables contaminated with pesticides. It sounds crazy, right? After all, we've been told for years that fruits and veggies are good for us. But what if I told you that some of them are contaminated with pesticides that can cause cancer? Pesticides are chemicals that farmers use to protect their crops from insects, weeds, fungi, and other pests. They're supposed to make our food safer and more abundant, but they also have a dark side. Some pesticides are known to be carcinogenic, meaning they can damage our DNA and increase the risk of developing tumors. So, how bad is the problem? Well, according to a report by the Environmental Working Group, which is a non-profit organization that advocates for consumer health, nearly 70% of the conventionally grown produce sold in the U.S. contains pesticide residues. The problem here is that there's plenty of evidence from scientific studies and expert opinions that these residues can actually cause cancer. For example, a study by researchers from Harvard University found that women who ate more than 2 servings of fruits and vegetables with high pesticide residues per day had a 26% higher risk of breast cancer than those who ate less than 1 serving per month. Another study by researchers from France found that people who ate more organic food had a 25% lower risk of cancer than those who ate less or none. So to protect yourself, always wash any fruits and vegetables thoroughly before eating or peeling them to reduce pesticide residues. You can also choose organic fruits and vegetables that are grown without synthetic pesticides. Before we continue, if you have been finding the video helpful so far, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more videos like this. Number 5. Sugar. Sugar is everywhere. It's in cakes, candies, sodas, and even some sauces and dressings. Sugar is a simple carbohydrate that provides energy for the body, but too much sugar can also cause problems. That is because sugar can increase the levels of insulin and inflammation in the body. Insulin is a hormone that helps the cells use glucose for energy, and inflammation is a natural response to injury or infection. However, high levels of insulin and inflammation can also stimulate the growth and spread of cancer cells. According to a 2016 review, sugar intake is associated with an increased risk of cancers of the esophagus, stomach, colon, pancreas, breast, and prostate. So, how much is too much? The American Heart Association recommends limiting the intake of added sugars to no more than 6 teaspoons, or 25 grams, per day for women and 9 teaspoons, or 37 grams, per day for men. Number 6. Fried foods. Fried foods are delicious, but they are also very dangerous. When starchy foods are cooked at high temperatures, a compound called acrylamide is formed. This can happen during frying, baking, roasting, and toasting. Fried starchy foods are especially high in acrylamide. This includes fried potato products, like French fries and potato chips. Acrylamide has been found to be carcinogenic in studies done on rats. The International Agency for Research on Cancer considers it probably carcinogenic to humans. Acrylamide may damage the DNA and increase the risk of cancers of the oral cavity, esophagus, pancreas, breast, and ovary. There is no safe level of exposure to acrylamide. However, the Food and Drug Administration suggests reducing the intake of fried foods and cooking starchy foods at lower temperatures and for shorter times. Number 7. Artificial sweeteners. Artificial sweeteners are substances that are used to sweeten foods and beverages without adding calories. They are often used by people who want to lose weight or control their blood sugar levels, but they may have negative effects on the gut microbiome, which is the community of bacteria and other microorganisms that live in the digestive tract. This gut microbiome plays an important role in digestion, immunity, metabolism, and mood. Disrupting the gut microbiome may increase the risk of obesity, diabetes, inflammation, and cancer. According to a 2019 review, artificial sweeteners may alter the composition and function of the gut microbiome in ways that may promote metabolic disorders and inflammation. The Food and Drug Administration has approved 6 artificial sweeteners as safe for human consumption. However, some experts suggest limiting the intake of artificial sweeteners to no more than 1 or 2 servings per day. You can also use natural sweeteners, such as honey, maple syrup, or stevia, but remember to use them in moderation. Number 8. Smoked foods. Smoked foods are foods that have been exposed to smoke from burning wood or charcoal. This includes smoked meats, fish, cheese, nuts, and spices. Smoked foods can contain carcinogens called polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. These are formed when organic materials are burned incompletely, and they can damage the DNA and increase the risk of cancers. According to a 2017 review, smoked meat intake is associated with an increased risk of gastric cancer. Another 2017 review found that smoked fish intake is associated with an increased risk of colorectal cancer. There is no safe level of exposure to PHs. However, some experts suggest limiting the intake of smoked foods to once or twice a month. Also, try to eat more grilled or roasted foods. You can also marinate your foods with herbs and spices to add flavor and reduce the formation of PAHs. Number 9. Microwave popcorn. You may think that popping some popcorn in the microwave is a quick and easy snack, but did you know that it could be harmful to your health? Microwave popcorn bags are often coated with perfluorooctanoic acid, which is a chemical that has been linked to kidney, bladder, and testicular cancer in animal studies. Perfluorooctanoic acid can also leach into the popcorn itself, along with artificial flavors and preservatives. A better alternative is to make your own popcorn on the stove or in an air popper, using organic kernels and natural seasonings. Number 10. Alcohol. Alcohol is one of the most well-established risk factors for cancer. According to the American Institute for Cancer Research, alcohol can cause cancer of the mouth, pharynx, larynx, esophagus, liver, colorectum, breast, and stomach. It can damage your DNA, increase your estrogen levels, impair your immune system, and interfere with folate metabolism. The more you drink, the higher your risk. The American Institute for Cancer Research recommends avoiding alcohol altogether or limiting it to no more than 1 drink per day for women and 2 drinks per day for men. Number 11. Hydrogenated oils. Hydrogenated oils are oils that have been chemically altered to make them more solid and stable at room temperature. But there is a catch. Hydrogenation also creates trans fats, which are a type of unsaturated fat that can harm your health. Several studies have found that consuming trans fats is associated with a higher risk of various types of cancer, such as breast cancer, prostate cancer, and colon cancer. For example, one study found that women who consumed the most trans fats had a 75% higher risk of premenopausal breast cancer than those who consumed the least. So how do trans fats cause cancer? Well, there are several possible mechanisms. One is that trans fats interfere with the normal functioning of cell membranes, which are essential for cell communication and growth. Another reason is that trans fats increase oxidative stress and DNA damage, which can trigger mutations and tumor formation. Number 12. Pickled foods. Pickled foods are foods that have been preserved in vinegar or brine, salt water. They can add flavor and variety to your diet, but they can also pose some risks for your health. Pickled foods are often high in salt, which can raise your blood pressure and increase your risk of stomach cancer. Pickled foods can also contain nitrites or nitrates, which are preservatives that can react with amino acids in your stomach to form nitrosamines, which are carcinogenic compounds. To reduce these risks, limit your intake of pickled foods or make your own using fresh ingredients and natural methods. So, as you can see, there are many foods that may increase your risk of cancer if you consume them regularly or in large amounts. However, you don't have to eliminate them completely from your diet. You can still enjoy them occasionally or in moderation, as long as you balance them with other healthy foods that can protect you from cancer. You can watch our video on the cancer-killing foods to know what they are. Now, we want to hear from you. Do you eat some of these foods every day? Did you know they can cause cancer before watching the video? Share with us your experiences and opinions in the comments below. We love to hear them. Thanks for watching.